that you see, since we ran the treason series, they have been telling you that the public laws are out of print and no longer available, and that is a blatant lie. Not only are they in print and available to all senators and congressmen in Washington, D.C., the Justice Department, the President of the United States, the Library of Congress, and every library in this country. So don't let these scumbag, creepo, treasonous traitors get away with it. Call them on it, just like John did, and make sure that you force their hand every single time. Otherwise, they will ride right over you. In the earlier hour of the time, we began a new series on the Rose Cross College, and I quoted verbatim from a book entitled The Rose Cross College, edited by R. Swinburne Clymer, copyrighted 1917. A resume of the teachings and proceedings of the Rose Cross College during its session held in the month of October 1916 on the 400th anniversary of the founding of the order. The Imperialistic Council and Venerable Order of the Magi, its instructions and the official degree, Priests of Melchizedek, the Knights of Chivalry, and Order of the Holy Grail. So, folks, if you missed that hour, make sure that you order the tape. For non-CAGI members, tapes are $8 post-paid. For CAGI members, they're $6 post-paid. You may order tapes by sending your money to William Cooper, P.O. Box 1420, Sholo, spelled S-H-O-W-L-O-W, Arizona, 85901. That's P.O. Box 1420, Sholo, Arizona, 85901. In the beginning of this book, it described the initiation in the Grove of Osiris and many other things, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to know. The ancient degrees of Osiris were conferred upon the delegates during that period of time in 1916, and I put out some hints for you people to be examining the Greitz spike training tape, that there was some symbolism there. Some of you did. Most of you, as usual, stayed on your butts and didn't do anything. Many of you have been sucked in by Mr. Trojan Horse himself, Lieutenant Colonel James Bobo Gritz. If you look real closely at his spike training literature and his spike training video, you will see that spike is spelled S-P obelisk K-E. S-P obelisk K-E. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, S-P, Penis of Osiris, K-E. He's playing you for a fool. And again, just like all the others, he is laughing at you. A day and a half spike training. And he teaches you how to fight with a double-edged blade and tells you that you are now a member of Delta Force. Let me read to you from a dictionary of Freemasonry exactly what Delta means. And during a later program, ladies and gentlemen, we will play a tape, a briefing tape for high-ranking officers in the United States Army on the 1st Earth Battalion, which describes, again, what Task Force Delta is really all about. Delta, the name of the fourth letter of the Greek alphabet. In form, it is a triangle and was considered by the ancient Egyptians a symbol of fire and also of God. In the Scottish and French systems, and also that of the Knights Templar, the triangle or delta is a symbol of the unspeakable name. And we go back a little farther, ladies and gentlemen, I-N-R-I, Jesus, Nazarenus Rex, Udiorum, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, the inscription which was placed upon the cross of the Savior. In the Philosophical Lodge, they represent fire, salt, sulfur, and mercury. In the system of the Rosicrucians, they had a similar use, Igni Natura Renovatur Integra, meaning literally, by fire, nature is perfectly renewed. This idea is also found in the degree of night, the depths of the eagle or of the sun. Remember, fires connected to Delta. Remember that they burn their enemies to purify the soul so that the enemies will not come back after them. Don't go away. You, my dear sheeple, have an awful lot to learn. Governments are controlled and operated by a few, not with the thought of producing the most good for the greatest number of people, but to obtain power and riches for the few at the expense of the many. The few are waiting in streams of gold while the many are growing under hard burdens. In the myths surrounding King Arthur and the Round Table and those knights of the Holy Grail who were the forerunners of the Order of the Garter and other knighthoods, one particularly is worthy of interpretation, demonstrating as it does the use and abuse of power. The story of Merlin is soon told. Merlin was the son of no mortal father, but of an incubus, one of a class of beings not absolutely wicked, but far from good, who inhabited regions of the air. Merlin's mother was a virtuous young woman, who on the birth of her son entrusted him to a priest, who hurried him to the baptismal font, and so saved him from sharing the lot of his father, though he retained many marks of his unearthly origin. At this time, Vortigern reigned in Britain. He was a usurper who had caused the death of his sovereign, Moins, and driven the two brothers of the late king, whose names were Uther and Pendragon, into banishment. Vortigern, who lived in constant fear of the return of the rightful heirs of the kingdom, began to erect a strong tower for defense. The edifice, when brought by the workmen to a certain height,